Well, all right, I had high hopes for the GFX100RF. As someone who still shoots with the GFX50R, I was expecting more of an evolution. Something more in the lines of the GFX50R Mark II. But what we got felt just more like a reboot. If the 50R is Henry Cavill's Superman, moody, grounded, and full of weight, then the 100RF is James Gunn's version of Superman. It feels light, it feels flashy, trying too hard to be liked by everyone. And in the process, it ends up being kind of forgettable. Now, it's not terrible, but it's just nowhere near of what it could have been. So let me explain to you why I passed on it and why I think many others did quietly too. Let's start off with the lens. It's a fixed lens. You don't get to change it. You don't get to adapt it to your workflow. And that's a bold choice, especially on a camera that costs $6,500. And at that price, versatility isn't a luxury. It's more or less expected. Medium format has always been about precision and flexibility. Locking it into one lens at this level, it just feels like a huge step backwards. So let me ask you this, would you spend $6,500 on a fixed lens camera? It just doesn't make sense. Or if it does, let me know why in the comment section below. To be fair, fixed lens cameras can work beautifully. The Leica Q series is a perfect example of that. It is beloved for a reason. That system makes sense. It's compact, it's fast, it's consistent. But the 100RF just doesn't carry that same clarity of purpose. At least not for me. So let's talk about reason number 2 here, the body design. The body design has gotten a lot of praise. It's sleek, it's compact, it's light. And I'll say this, it does feel solid because I've held it in my hands. Fuji did not cheap out on the build. But for me, it just felt a little bit too small, a little bit too busy, too many buttons crammed into tight spaces. I like a bit more space, a body that encourages a slower pace, something that disappears when I shoot, but also anchors me at the same time. I guess I'm just getting a little bit poetic here, I digress. But I would like to know, do you prefer a camera you can carry anywhere, or one that slows you down and demands intention? Because here's the thing, if we really just want a camera you can carry anywhere, we all have our smartphones, don't we? And in 2026, phones are incredible. The convenience, the computational power, the quality, it's more than enough for daily capture. So if you're looking for something truly compact, I'd argue, why carry a medium format camera as your everyday pocket shooter? How does that make sense? In that case, you could just go with the X100 and it feels like a much better fit. It's been praised universally, it's purposefully built, and it doesn't carry the same contradiction. A compact medium format camera doesn't really make sense to me. It's caught between two ideas and never really fully commits to either one of them. And then there's the focal length. We got the 28mm lens, which is a 22mm full frame equivalent. And that's really wide. Great for some work, but not everything. Personally, I've always landed on the 35mm as the sweet spot. And I made the mistake of selling that 35mm lens and buying a 28mm lens. And I'll be talking about that lens in a future video. Let's just say this, I feel the same way about that one too. Except for when I'm filming on it, which I'm doing right now, then it's actually pretty good. And before we move on, just a quick word from today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Color Precision. If you care about cinematic atmosphere in your images and love the look of film, this is right up your alley because Color Precision gives you just that. Through the link in my description, you can purchase these amazing profiles, which include 96 Lightroom profiles, 26 presets, and 2 Photoshop actions, all for just $85, which is incredible value for a product of this quality. So what are you waiting for? Jump in, grab these while you can, and elevate your photography to the next level. Now let's head back to the video. And so let's talk about the biggest and main issue with this camera. And you all already know it. The f4 aperture on the lens. I know, on medium format, people will say it's fine, you got that huge sensor and it picks up a lot of light. But I shoot a lot in low light, like all the time. Different events, venues, dusk, early morning, golden hour, you name it. And you want every stop of light, every bit of control. And a fixed f4 lens, that's just a ceiling you can't break through. Especially at $6,500, you're getting a camera with no other lens options. It's just not justified. And I said this before release, the used market would flood after a month or two with this camera, and it did. It didn't really take a genius, just someone who's been around cameras long enough to see the pattern. These kind of choices look good in press photos, but they age fast in real life. So no, this isn't a takedown. The GFX50R is bold, it's well-built, ambitious, but it wasn't the GFX50R Mark II, which a lot of fans were hoping for. And it didn't align with what I value in a medium format camera. Now, I'm still with the 50R. It's not perfect by any means, but my hands work with this camera like a master pianist on a Steinway. It just clicks. And to be totally honest, I think it's better. Not just better for me, it's better value, period. It's more affordable, it still delivers incredible image quality, and that 50 megapixel sensor, it's still more than enough for 99% of what I do. And I keep asking myself, what would actually justify upgrading to the 100RF? And I still haven't come up with a single reason, to be honest. So here's my question to you. What makes the 100RF worth it over the 50R? If you got a solid answer, I'd really love to hear it. Take care now, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay subscribed, like this video, and we'll talk some more in a bit. Bye.